Hello, family, and welcome to another episode of Role Model Experts Cafe. I'm your host, Dr. L, the Parent Whisperer. And today with me, I have an amazing man today. His name is Mr. Donovan Dreyer. Did I say that right, Donovan?
You did. Yeah, it was perfect. Thanks.
Awesome. And where are you located, Donovan?
I am in Colorado. So I'm in Windsor, Colorado.
Beautiful,
And
beautiful.
yeah, we got some snow here. Beautiful day, sunny.
Very nice. Very cool. So, guys, I had an opportunity to have a conversation with Donovan, and I really liked how he shows up in the world and what he's working on. So, I decided to ask him to come to the cafe and tell us a little bit more about himself, share his expertise with you. So, hopefully, you get some nuggets out of that. So, thank you for joining us. And, Donovan, thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to be here with us today. Before we get started, can you tell our audience members a little bit about your personal story of where you're coming from, how you got involved with what you do, and what your focus is?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, I just automatically zoom right back to 1993, Zingerman's Deli, Ann Arbor, Michigan. And that's where I grew up, is Michigan, Detroit, and then Ann Arbor. And so sitting down doing an informational interview with somebody in the profession that I was considering. Actually, I was pretty committed to at that point. So I'm sitting there and he's just crazy passionate about flying. And he's a pilot, airline captain, and he just had such an amazing passion for it. He had totally found his calling. He had done the soul searching, or well, I don't know, maybe he knew it right away. And I was just realizing in that moment, man, I just don't have it for this. This is not the same for me. But I bet I've got that same kind of feeling he has for something. I wonder maybe if everybody has that, I thought. And so I thought, well, I'm going to go ahead and make my effort to do my soul searching in my 20s. The problem was I just spent 5 years in college to get all those certificates to fly, plus my bachelor's degree. So, I mean, I was the poster person for, oh my gosh, what did I just do with my college education? But, you got to do go or no go in flying. Today'd be a beautiful day to go flying. You could say go to flying because there's clear visibility. But I just picked no go right there on that spot. I'm going to pivot on my career right now because I have to do the soul searching in my 20s to figure this out. So I work with my family business. If we fast forward a ways, I'm helping my wife one day, just with her day at school. She's an art teacher, just helping her get through the day and just problem solve and just listen, soak in how she was doing. And it hit both of us that I needed to be helping people. So again, I tried to do some informational interviewing before making a big investment in education again, but all I could think of was getting a master's degree. So I checked out a few of those. I almost made a mistake again and got like a continuing ed teachers type of master's degree. Almost got started on that, but the Columbine shooting happened at that time in the late 90s. And I just decided, well, I'm going to go right into the trenches with the kids. There's books, there's articles, there's stuff being written, but I'm not having it. This is a game changer in the game of life. I'm going to go figure that out for myself. So I got a school counseling master's degree. I started in 2001. First month, we had our quarterback completed suicide, one of the quarterbacks from the football team. And then 9/11 happened right in that same kind of window of time. So it's just like another game-changing event in the world, and definitely one in my world. I'm brand new to this community. I don't really know anybody. And I'm here, trying to hold space, love up the kids, support them. And, that was super significant. And we created a thing called Peace Circles that we started in our school. And then that's gone global, where there's peace circles in schools now, which is pretty cool. So it started here, and then Northern Colorado picked it up, and we ran them for about 9-10 years. And so that was really cool to kind of see social innovation can happen when you just see something and you have some conversations with your fellow counselors at the time. And, just really, I thought we had to do something about it. And so we got the ball rolling, made a big change that really spread wildly. And so I really got a bug for social innovation. And if we fast forward a little bit further, there was a time when there was actually 3 completed suicides in just 2 weeks. And then I'm just helping everybody, helping. And one of the moms, she said that she wished there was an early warning detection system, like some kind of way to see this earlier. We had an organization come out that said at the last second, you can turn in one of these cards. If you can't say you're thinking of harming yourself, just turn in the card to a counselor or teacher. And this mom was just like, that's too late. I wanted to catch this way earlier. How could we spot it earlier? Is there anything like that? And I thought of the Likert scale, a scale of 1 to 10 that we use all the time. And that just didn't work. it wasn't effective because some kids want to come in and see you when they're a 0.5 out of 10 on their stress levels. And some have to wait till it's a 9.5 out of 10 on the stress levels because they do not want that help. They have a stigma about going into that counselor's office. So then finally it was, time to actually put that to practice. I used it to triage kids. Basically, we're either in the green zone in our inner world, we're in the yellow zone, or we're in the red zone. And this just allows me to say, okay, this kid needs to work this out for themselves because it's green. They don't need anybody helicoptering. They just need to work their EQ, their emotional intelligence. If it's yellow, they need to count on their support system. And if it's red, it's time to get to the school counselor's office. So that system is really something that I've spread to a lot of other schools and districts and spoke nationally on it. And then finally, I've devised a system and a program that helps kids actually stay in the zone, stay in the flow, in the green zone by discovering what that pilot discovered, by discovering what I've finally discovered is my true calling. It's these social innovations that help kids and families and schools and the community and the world at large. That is my favorite thing. So my true calling right now is to help kids figure out their future. So that's the background.
I love it. I mean, everything you're saying is beautiful. I can identify with it as a kid who had ADHD, and I struggled through school and was never interested in authority and somebody telling me what to do. I never found academia. I always joke about it that it's a miracle I lasted in academia as long as I did to get my postdoctorate. But it really institutionalizes yourself because you're putting your passions in the back burner. Now, for me, it wasn't even the fact that I just got out of school. I even did practice for another 10, 15 years before I realized that I could do more with my life than just that. So it's a tough choice. And also, I love the simplicity and the preventativeness of the triage system that you have with the green and the yellow and the red. So I really love that. And thank you for creating those things. Thank you for your support for the kids as well. And the Peace Circle, that's an amazing thing that I really think should be almost like part of everybody's daily routine to have something like that. So absolutely. All right. So we know with the world and where things are at, there has never been a greater need for supporting our future generation and ensuring that they live their full potential and they get to exercise it as well. So I do understand the importance of that. What are some of the other factors that people should really consider in the sense that this is a topic that really needs addressing, really needs focus on? Why is this topic so important for you as well as you think for humanity in general?
Well, I think I've gotten a cool spectrum. So I did 17 years of high school counseling, and then I got an opportunity to do some coaching, with grown-ups, with adults and their businesses, because it was something that I learned quite a bit about starting my own practice, starting my own business. And so I really wanted to learn more. So I dove in and helped. And I'm currently still supporting a coach that has quite a following. And so helping the grownups helped me realize you're the norm. If we get stuck in something, whether it's a school, an institution, or just something that doesn't fit us, that's like the norm. It's an 80-20 rule. 80% of the people have settled for something that doesn't fit them. The big problem is a lot of these people are getting, in a fast changing world, they're getting the need to change careers. The pandemic happened and a lot of people had to find a new career. And so people in these programs trying to be entrepreneurs and start something, they really struggle. Old dogs can learn new tricks. So grownups, in their 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s can restart. But boy, it looks really hard compared to, in my mind, wouldn't it be amazing if we actually helped kids align with this fast changing world and help them be more adaptable as a real world skill, instead of thinking, let's really get you kind of stuck in a round hole or a square hole in life. Let's actually think of you being like a puzzle piece. So if people are more like a puzzle piece and they've got to find that matching fit in the world where they can serve a purpose that matches their passion, we've got gold. And so what I feel like right now is kids actually do like change, where maybe the grownups are averse to change. Kids are waiting for that next one to come. But we can dampen that down and dampen it down and dampen it down over time if we just keep doing the same kind of things we've done for the past couple hundred years. So my idea and what my genius zone is being able to go in and extract what that is. Are you supposed to be a pilot? Are you supposed to help kids as a social innovator? What are you supposed to do? So that mistake on my part led to a massive breakthrough in terms of an ability of like, I don't want you to settle. I want you to really figure this thing out.
Right.
And so that's what I really truly love. And I really believe this whole entire next generation could be drawn out rather than having the education schooled into them and pressed.
Right.
So there's
Yeah,
already something there.
I
We're already
totally agree
wired
with
some
that.
way.
I
Yeah.
totally agree with that. That's, the round hole and the square peg and all of those things. And at the same time, I believe that um, the f- the kids these days are becoming more fragile, and you used a beautiful word called adaptable. That we need to make sure that our kids are resilient, they're adaptable, because the demands, the resources of our planet and our social life and our human civilization are only going up, basically. So if you don't have that adaptability, that resilience, just fitting into a box is not going to be sustainable long term. When you think about where you and I have been during the past 30 years and where these kids are going to be 30 years from now, you do need that adaptability. So very cool. So what are some of the challenges that you typically see the audience, the kids, the families struggle with when you first start working with them or see them?
Well, adaptability and resilience are a couple of them. And what I really caught on to is Seth Godin relabeling soft skills as real skills. So I
Mhm.
love to just thinking of it. These kids need real skills for the real world. And this real world's rapidly changing. We've actually added one in our 30 years. We've added to the inner world that I like to keep green. Like that's my main mission. Those thoughts, emotions, there's a million emojis and emotions. There's your mind, your heart, your spirit, all those things, just really putting it into those three levels. You're either in the green state, the yellow state, or the red state is important. So that's like emotional intelligence.
Mhm.
That's one of the big skills. That's the thing where you're talking about they're sensitive, they're lacking something. It's emotional intelligence. We can really move the needle. I believe the work I've done in my 3 years at the elementary school level has gotten kids that have better emotional intelligence than a lot of older young adults and adults. So that's one thing I see. But all of these real skills are super important. And for me in my program, I just picked the top 7. The big 7 things I see that are lacking, that I see, okay, these grownups who are trying to make a new path in life, if the kids are intentional and proactive with it, then they're going to need to create a vision. They're going to need to be good goal setters and accomplishers. They're going to need to be good decision makers. They're going to need to figure out how to regulate their emotions. And they're going to need to do a resume 2.0. They're always told what not to put online, but we need to proactively tell them what to put online. There's, social media that's for colleges right now. You can actually figure out how to put your portfolio together online. That's like an Instagram that you can then give to college or for now scholarship application. So that's resume 2.0. That just helps them give a pre-impression. So we talk about, people judge us by our first impression. They can judge us before that now. So we got to help them get a good pre-impression. So that's a challenge and a problem. What else? The routines, healthy routines. I came up with the idea of self-care streaks. That's kind of like Snapchat streaks where the kids snap each other every single day.
Okay.
If we don't think of it as a discipline or a routine, it's a little bit more fun with making it into like a self-care streak or a self-talk streak, going day after day after day, saying good things to yourself. So all of these things really go together to help kids actually put together a future plan so that they're really more attuned to their career, getting a rough idea of themselves as well on their identity, not a big detailed idea. And then the lifestyle. The millennials showed us how important lifestyle is and that the kids want that. I think the next generation is going to want that as well. So career and lifestyle, just really giving them a full plan in like a couple of months is my first step with kids that are a little bit more driven too. I know that not everybody's coachable and they have some more severe needs and things like that, but I work with the kids that really don't get enough attention, who are driven to be the future leaders.
Okay. And I loved it. So one, vision, goal setting, decision making, these are all really, really important things. And many times we load so much onto the kids that they don't have enough time to actually discover those important skills in themselves and how to actually develop those within themselves. So that's really important and powerful. Cool. So what are some of your tips, tricks, secrets, things that we could utilize right after this
Yeah.
on daily life, basically?
Well, I think everything does center around my chart. So I chart it over the course of time as well. So when I took my traffic light idea of green, yellow, and red, I
Mhm.
also combined it with a time frame. So that's something that people could email me to get.
Absolutely.
On my website, I've got a goal, like good conversation starter for future goals,
Mhm.
but they could email me for this chart. But
Okay.
when you put it across time, ideally you can keep it between green and yellow and just keep in the zone in life and keep in the flow. But we can ask our kids, what level are you at starting right now? So if there's a bazillion emojis, I've just got smiley, meh face, and frowny face on my stress chart. And basically, what we all can actually understand is the green means it's stress that we don't need to hover. It's disempowering if we actually take away their ability to build their muscles of
Mhm.
regulating themselves. So
Mhm.
green, they should indicate that's where I am because I don't need your help, mom or brother or sister or friends. I'm good. So
Right.
that's green. And then the yellow is, well, I don't have enough skills or capacity to deal with whatever's going on right now. So I've pushed out of the green and into the yellow. So I
Mhm.
need to look to my support system. If I got peer pressure, I'm not going to get my inner world green again. I'm actually going to go up that chart.
Right.
So thinking about who you're putting in your support system. Do they move your stress up all the time and bully you and pester you and annoy you and frustrate you and they're not really good and quality friends? Get them out of there. Or do they help you come back down and get calm and cool and collected again and they get your inner world green? And then finally, the only way that we know for sure somebody's past the yellow is all of the people in our everyday life are not enough. And we ourselves couldn't regulate it. So now, if our everyday people and we couldn't regulate it before that, that's what we literally cross from yellow to red on is we need a professional. You might have a stigma against mental health help or whatever, but you got to go get it. You've got to go
Right.
find somebody that's really going to help you. And so those are the three levels and how they're very distinctive too as you cross the levels. So just asking how you're doing to your kids and then helping them understand that aspect of the inner world, you're in one of those three levels. Everybody on the planet right now is in one of those three levels, regardless of whatever emoji they'd pick out in addition to mine or emotion they feel or feeling that they'd label it, or maybe they have no clue what the feeling is or the thoughts that are running through their head. Everybody's in green, yellow, or red on the planet right now. So that's a place to start, is just having a super clear way of figuring out how your kids are really doing.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. This is beautiful, so simplistic yet so thorough and comprehensive and enlightening. So I appreciate it. Donovan, you are a wealth of information. I know you have many different gifts and programs. So how can people find out more about you, follow you, work with you? You mentioned the charts, so I definitely want to make sure our audience members take advantage of that as well. So tell us a little bit about that as well.
Yeah, I'm fairly regular on Instagram. So anybody that would message me there, it's Donovan Dreyer on it, or Donovan.Dreyer on Instagram. So that's where I'm pretty regular. I do, show up on Clubhouse as well quite a bit. And then from there, reaching out to me through getting to my website to download the freebie
Mhm.
would give people access to whatever I email out. And then emailing me directly, Donovan@getreadycoaching.com. I would love to just start up a chat, have a short conversation. If people would like to hop on a Zoom to learn more, then we can definitely set up that kind of a connection. And yeah, if they email me too and request the solving our stress chart, that's something that I could send out as well. So you could find me pretty much anywhere all over the place. I'm on
Beautiful.
most of the social media, and you can find me through
Awesome.
emailing me directly as well.
Absolutely. So Donovan has given me some of his information, guys. I'm going to put in the description box on the video. So please go ahead and check the description box. There are links there and things that you can take advantage of. I highly encourage you to connect with Donovan and find the support and show your kids also that there is a way, and we should always try to not do everything ourselves or figure things out on our own, but also have a support network that we can reach out to. So setting that model is very, very important. So go ahead and do that. And if you haven't already done so, feel free to go ahead and click on the subscription box so that you get notified of the latest developments within Role Model Maker, and also get notified of the latest experts, their gifts and expertise that they bring to the channel. And we hope to see you guys in the future. Once again, Donovan, thank you so much for being here today and spending your time with us, sharing these pearls of wisdom. Any final pearls of wisdom before we finish today?
Well, Dr. L, thank you. I appreciate this opportunity. I think you're doing amazing things, and I'm so glad myself to make this connection. And I really feel like the final pearl of wisdom is like, we have these tools that sometimes are like, oh, they're a problem. Like, oh, it's terrible to have a Snapchat streak and you're giving away your login information when I take your phone away. That's what happened. I was like, whoa, they're giving away their login information. I bet their bank card is the same. And if that teenager gets their bank card, they're going to just put that Snapchat in there and, be able to get money from their bank account to go out to lunch. Right. So that was like, but I bet there's some wisdom in that. So just being open-minded to think about, in these rotten, tough, worst moments, we can dig out some gold. And then also we've got an ability to connect like never before, to actually mentor kids, like Correct. Team up to mentor, partner to mentor, and to share our wisdom like never, ever before in history. So this generation has access to such amazing resources like never before. So I think, like a lot of times we run into the tools and technologies as a problem. We've got to twist that and spin that into just the amazing opportunity that I don't even think we've begun to tap into what's possible here. And within that, we've got to have that healthy balance too, because there's only one time in human history where we've got screen natives and then the screen non-natives. I forget what the word is that I'm looking for, but we were born before those screens. They're born with the screens. This is the only time, as long as the technology doesn't break down, that we can help kids understand the value of what we understood before this extra world was here, of the digital world. Right. So now with this extra third world, we've got to help those kids navigate this and not just get addicted to it ourselves. We've Right. got to help them really appreciate the interaction and the one-to-one.
Absolutely. I totally agree. Speaking of screens, there is more to life than just Zoom meetings. Meetings in person is much more three-dimensional, and I highly encourage our audience members to still watch about COVID and social distancing and all that, but still go ahead and meet people face-to-face or from a social distance face-to-face. So to see the magic happen, that's when two people meet, basically, and go from there. Thank you again. See you guys in the future. Cheers.